I am so goddamn excited. Just one day until the start of the World Cup. Ben, please tell me you're as excited as I am.
Oh, I can't wait, Jack. It's nearly here. I've waited weeks and days and years for this. And tomorrow it begins.
I have no idea what that was.
It's the song. It's the song, the really dramatic song. Okay. So, Belgium, Algeria, Russia, South Korea. Where do you want to start, Jack?
Group H, of course.
Yeah, I know.
Do we start or do we end with Belgium? I feel like they've got to be part of the discussion.
Let's end with them. How's that?
Right, let's start off with the unknown quantity of this group. In fact, there's two, but we'll start with Algeria, the most unknown quantity.
All right.
Apparently, I've got written down in my notes here that you've kindly written Algeria, the bad boys of African football. If things aren't going well, they just kick people. Is that our research on them?
Yeah, they get angry really quickly. They just, like, if things aren't going well, a fight just happens. So, frankly, I'd quite like to see that. Is that wrong? Is that not in the spirit of the game?
That's fine.
I quite like an argy-bargy, if you know what I'm saying.
What do you make of their squad, anyway?
Well, they're experienced in some areas, I think it's fair to say. I'm not particularly well versed with them. There's a few names we recognise. Fenkouli, who plays for Valencia. I think that's how you say his name. Let's hope so. He's the one that stands out. He's kind of been around the block for quite a while now. Not got as many caps for this Algerian team as I would have thought. Aside from that, Yebda, who plays for Udinese, I'm sure is a familiar name to some. Aside from that, not too many.
Got Bentaleb, who plays for Spurs.
Oh, yeah. He's like the recent up-and-comer who Sherwood tried to push into people's faces.
He's 19, isn't he? I think he's the youngest player in their squad by quite a way.
He is indeed. They've actually not done too badly in African tournaments in recent times. I'm not sure how good they're going to do at this World Cup, though. It's a weird group. It's not a particularly difficult group for Algeria to do something in, but I do feel like there's two main contenders to go out of the group, and I don't think that Algeria are one of those. That said, you never know, on their day, they could have a good tournament. They've got quite a lot of experience within the squad. It looks to me as if they have a settled 11 that tend to play more than most. And then they've got a lot of kind of squad players in depth that don't feature as often.
I was going to say, Algeria were at the last World Cup. They didn't do very well, and I think it's
in England's group.
They might well have been, now you mention it, and it rings a bell. But, I don't know, they're a team who I don't see a lot coming from them. And this group's a very odd one, because I'd say this is probably the weakest group in terms of... That's nothing against Russia or Belgium, because I think they're the two teams that will go through, so you don't even have to wait for my prediction if that's what you were waiting for. But, no, I feel...
Spoiler alert.
I feel like Algeria and South Korea are kind of two teams that I don't really fancy them. I don't think they've got enough about them to really impose, but at the same time, same with Russia, really. I don't think they're going to go that far in the tournament, but they're there and they're at the World Cup, and I guess that's what they could enjoy. Group H, it's not the group of quality, but Algeria are a team that, again, we don't know what to expect from them. It's going to be interesting. You never know. There's surprise packages. Maybe they can kick up a fight.
Yeah, well, hopefully. If there's one thing I'm going to miss from this World Cup, it's going to be red cards. So if Algeria can provide that for me, that'd be great. You know, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for a fight. I want to see some controversy. I want to see punches thrown. So if you want to get a bet on who's going to get the most red cards at this World Cup in the group stages, get it on Algeria.
So we go from the hazardous Algerian fighting tendencies to to take a Lukaku at the Belgian side.
Who's keeping them company?
Oh, God. That was
You started
terrible.
this. You started this. I've joined in.
It was a bit of a Van der Boer.
So hang on, we're going to Belgium straight away?
Yeah, I've changed my mind.
I thought we agreed with them last.
But the puns worked.
Yeah, but you've changed the...
Right, to Russia, Capello.
What a transition. Yeah, Capello is manager.
Rip up the script, it's gone.
Give us your stat on Russia, which you've been waiting to say since we found out yesterday.
It's the only club in...
Only club?
Yeah,
the big moment there, Jack. Can you blow it?
I'm sorry, everyone. Only nation, Russia, in the entire World Cup, in which every player in their national side plays in the Russian or the home domestic division. Fact of the day, right there for you.
Wow.
Giving them an applaud. That's how you do it. Even though
Stasso Jacko, right
England
there.
are almost there, but Fraser Forster still plays for Celtic, which is basically England, I guess. England are also there.
Right.
All the Scots have just turned off at this point. He did not just say that.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry. Truth
The Bad Boys
hurts.
British podcasts. I actually rate Russia quite highly. You were slagging them off just a minute ago. I actually think they could do quite well. As you say, I don't think they're going to set the World Cup alight. But they're another team. Capello will have them well drilled. They potentially are the most well drilled team in the whole of the World Cup. With a little bit of flair in there. Zagoev, who was kind of the pin-up star youngster at the Euros last time round, who started the tournament very well, and then Russia ended up just not going through. Greece and I can't think who the other team in the group were, but Greece and someone else just appeared from nowhere and went past them. It may well have been someone like Serbia. Now I'm thinking about it, but yeah, Akinfeev in goal, veteran of Russian football, been around forever it seems. Just it's amazing to me that Akinfeev's never got a big move to Europe. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Aside from that, they've got Beretzky. I'll get it right one day. Who's another player been around a bit? Ignacevic, who 95 caps, 34 years old, knows it, done it before. Sure, this is surely one of his. I'm sure he's had a few World Cups. Is what I'm trying to say. Aside from that, not sure what they've got to offer at the back. That seems to be as good as it gets. There's no Andnikov, I've just noticed, which is weird. I don't know if he's out injured. Jack should have done the research on Russia, really. That was your job. Zirkov plays for Moscow. Obviously, had a little time at Chelsea. Already mentioned Zagoev. And they've got Kurzakov leading the line up top. Where do you stand, Jack, on Russia?
Ukraine are good. Should keep the territories. Oh, sorry, you meant World Cup. They could do quite well. As you can see, for the fans addressing all the world political issues and stuff.
We've definitely got ear close to
But
the ground.
no, Russia to finish second, I think, in this group. I think Capello's going to drill them well, as you said. I think they're going to be very disciplined, and I think that cohesion that they're going to have, as so many of their players play in the same domestic league and play alongside each other, is going to be particularly beneficial to them. Yeah,
and it's coming to the end of Fabio Capello's career. Speaking of career,
it's all gone south.
Good, very good. We'll move on to them next. They are the third team we're going to talk about in this group. What do you think of on career then? We're looking at them here. We recognise a few of their names. They're all very similar names, to be fair. But what do you think about the Korean team? There's names that stand out.
I think Kim's going to do really well for them.
Well, that's
Lee might do well too.
Yeah?
Or Young.
Jesus. Who are you on about?
I don't know.
No, in fairness, there are a few players here that we do recognise. Park Chu-young, who spent the year at Watford. Where are we looking here? Honestly, it's tricky.
These names, they all have hyphens in them.
Ki Sun-young, who was at Sunderland, also had a time at Swansea. In fact, I think he was on loan at Sunderland, now I think about it. Lee Chung-young, the wide man, who's at Bolton. Another name we recognise as Englishman. Aside from that, I'm not too well versed in the South Korean team.
They've got G, haven't they? He's going to Dortmund up top. He was at Sunderland and then he went on loan this year. So he's I think he's going to be key to them. He's not a bad player at all. He's like 6 foot tall, so he offers them a outlet if they do want to play that direct football. But he was at Sunderland. I think he got like 2 goals in a season and then he went on loan this year to FC Augsburg.
The one that scored against City, like a last-minute goal.
Yeah, that's the only thing he's ever done. But I believe he's agreed to go to Dortmund, so he's the Lewandowski replacement. So perhaps he has something to live up to in terms of a degree of expectation on his shoulders.
They're one of these teams that throughout the if you've been listening to the shows over the past week, you'll know there's some teams we haven't really got a fucking clue about, if I'm going to be frank. This is one of them. Let's just wait and see, shall we?
It's the surprise package of South Korea.
Let's hope they're another team that will shock us and we'll be able to talk about their players.
To be fair, in 2002 they got to the World Cup semi-final, so we probably should have done... That's better than England.
Rigged. That was completely rigged. Watch the videos on YouTube. It's completely rigged.
No, it wasn't. The Italians just played dirty in the quarters.
Let's talk about the big dogs in this tournament. The most underrated, overrated side in the history of the World Cup, I would say.
Give it up for Belgium!
Well, it almost wasn't worth bothering, was it?
Sorry.
Wasn't worth
I've already done an intro for these about 10 minutes ago, but...
Right then. Belgium.
So Vincent and Company.
Vincent and Company, very good. Alderweireld, Vermaelen, Vertonghen, Witsel, De Bruyne, Fellaini, Hazard, Morales, Defoe, Dembele, Januzaj, Chadli, Lukaku, Mertens. The list goes on. They are somewhat stacked, as the pundits are saying. They've got players that can play in every position. They are the underrated, most overrated team in the tournament, as I've already said. How do you fancy them, Jack? How far are they getting in this tournament? Forget the group. We know they're winning it. Are they the real deal?
Quarterfinals, losing to Germany. I don't even know if that's possible now. Think about it. I don't think it is. But no, quarterfinals. I'm going to call it now. I feel like the pressure might get to them. I feel like they've got some really good players on paper, and Belgium have kind of been the team who they were everyone's dark horse, and they get to a stage, after a year or so of a build up to World Cup, where it's like, well, you're no longer the bloody dark horse if everyone thinks you're going to win. Sorry, Belgium. I think the hype might just get to their players. I feel like they've got some really good players. I feel like they've got a good core team. They've got some really good players in every position. Courtois in goal, as you mentioned. Kompany in the centre. Vermaelen in the centre. Vertonghen off to the left, which is where he generally plays for them. And then as you go further up the field, it just gets stronger and stronger. Obviously, Benteke's out of the tournament. He's injured. I think he's going to be maybe a little bit for miss. There might be a little bit more pressure put on Mertens and Lukaku to really turn it up. But obviously, Januzaj comes in, having declared himself officially for them. Belgium are a good side, and I think they're going to coast this group. But I do feel like the pressure might get to them, and I'm still not sure how they are really going to do against a bigger, I don't want to say a bigger national team, but they've not really been tested that much as a team in a competitive environment yet.
I would love to see them take on one of the big boys in the World Cup and just beat them. And just live up to all the expectation that's put on them. Because a lot of people are saying, you just wait, Belgium are going to be great. And then there's the counter arguments come out of, oh no, they're overrated. They're not as good as everyone thinks they are. No, they really are very, very good.
I don't think they're overrated. I think the pressure might get to them.
Really, I think there's a lot of big players in that team, who have dealt with pressure before and have excelled in the pressure. I really fancy Belgium to do something. That may be kind of the popular opinion or the naive opinion that they're going to set the world alight, but I really, really think they've got a special group of players right now. We spoke about England's generation during that one, but I think Belgium are currently in a very prime spot to really take on the world of football. They've got the team to do it. I really think they have. I'm excited. I'm excited about Belgium. Jack, the World Cup's tomorrow.
I know, it is really exciting.
Right, so predictions. Where are you going?
It's got to be Belgium and Russia, hasn't it?
Belgium, Russia 1-2. I'll agree with you. I think what we should do now, obviously leave your ideas in the comments. What do you think? Are Belgium the real deal? Let us know in the comments, or on Twitter if you listen on iTunes, at ForTheFans Show on all platforms. ForTheFansShow.com is where you can find us on the internet too. I think we should quickly... We're kind of done. That's the reviews over, Jack.
We've gone
through the views.
Every single team, every single group for the last 8 days has been heading your way.
Yeah, so I think we should quickly outline, if you're still listening, what we're going to be doing over the next month of international football and the World Cup in Brazil 2014. So what is the plan? How are we doing this? So let them know.
So guys, for the fans, we are going daily through the World Cup every day. The aim is to get every podcast up for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's no mean feat. There will be days where it inevitably comes up later in the day, but we are going to give you daily coverage of the World Cup, looking back at the games that happened the previous day, taking a look forward to what is to come in the matches for the day that the podcast goes up. We've got special guests coming on, going to get their opinions, their thoughts. There's going to be quizzes, prizes to be won, and it's just going to be a nice entertaining time as we bring you these podcasts daily. The length is going to vary, but our aim is to go for around 45 minutes, there or thereabouts. So yeah, that is what you can do. And of course, if you want to find out more, www.forthefans.com is the website to go, where you can find out what is going on when, and there'll be links to everything you could ever want with relation to the podcast.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good explanation. As always, follow us all our links on social media. You know where it's at. I've been Ben. That is the World Cup reviews done. It begins tomorrow. Brazil versus Croatia. I can't bloody wait.
I can't wait either.
He can't wait either. We are excited. I hope you're excited. We'll see you tomorrow.